Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Mario, back with another video, and today we will be doing something a little bit more advanced. It's called a no-fly zone, and basically what this is something that way back in the day Town Hall 9s would do in order to defend things like Lalo and dragons and anything like that, anything air related. But it's kind of evolved now and went to Town Hall 12, even 11, 10, 13, 14. It's in all Town Halls now. No fly zone is just a very common thing that you see. So I'll start off with the typical one. So the typical one deals with whatever your key defense is. So we're using an Inferno because I'm making a Town Hall 12 video today. So I'm just going to make an Inferno comp, like so. And then we're actually going to do a comp off of here. It's usually a couple comps, and then we'll do like a moat right here. And your AD shape does help too, and I'll explain that in a second. So this is going to be our no-fly zone right here. So basically what a no-fly zone is it's something that has a bunch of stacked air targeting defenses in it. For example, Archer Towers and Wizard Towers and things like that. Things that Hounds won't lock onto. Probably has an Expo in it. A couple storages too to slow things down. You can put it like this. Just gonna build an example real quick. Actually, we're gonna like isolate this Inferno. So that's another pretty common thing is isolating the Inferno. In order to make sure that you don't have pathing into it, so it just paths around it. So this is like a pretty typical no-fly zone type thing. And what it's designed to do is because there's Wizard Towers, Inferno, 2 Archer Towers, an Expo. Maybe there's an Archer Tower out here too, and one out here as well. What it's designed to do is because these are all air targeting, things like Lalo are going to have a really tough time through here. But the only thing is, though, is that a Queen Charge could also come in. So you need to be very specific about your value. You don't want to put, let's say, Queen and CC over here. Because then that's just going to take it, that's going to get taken advantage of. And that's going to get Queen Charged. And then all of your air traps are just going to go right onto the enemy Queen and not onto their Lalo or dragons. So typically for trap wise, what you want to do with the no-fly zone is you want to add some red air bombs, things where loons are going to path to. Doesn't have to be all of them, or it can be all of them if you really want it to be. I'm going to do all of them, and then also using some Teslas right here to kind of make it path around. Now I do want you guys to know that this is not the type of no-fly zone I use. I use my own version. These are the comps that I use, but I prefer my own version, and it involves manipulating pathing a bit more, which we'll get into in a second. So here, the red air bombs are going to gradually hit, so then it's harder for a specific Warden ability spot. And then, for your air defenses, so you want like one air defense maybe like over here. That's going to be your closest one to the no-fly zone. And then maybe one like over here, maybe like a core one, and then maybe one like over here as well. So you do get like a Y shape, which is good, obviously. We could probably move this one up too, so then it forms like this like a Y. But it really helps isolate this area, and then let's say we have like Queen over here, and then a CC over here. So now Queen Charge is not viable in this area at all. Also, typically for no-fly zones, you don't usually put a bunch of black mines. You can put a couple. You also can put like an air skelly if you want. You can really do whatever you want. Make sure you have liquid air bombs, and I would suggest like a tornado over there, and maybe a couple Teslas too. And then obviously some archer towers and wizard towers. Now I would focus on doing the main setup like this version first before you get into the advanced stuff, because the advanced stuff will get harder and it will be harder for you to defend because it's something that's more like a bit more experimental. It hasn't been out for years and years and it hasn't been perfected. So now let's show you how I like to do no-fly zones. So we're gonna actually create the exact same comp, and I'll show. So it doesn't matter about comps for me really. What matters is more about forcing the pathing on how I want the pathing to be. Because if I can get their loons to path the exact way that I want them to be, then it's going to be perfect. If not, I might have a little bit of trouble. But that's why we test bases. So we have the same comp, or something really similar here. And so this is how I like to do my no-fly zones. So I like to put like a sweeper in here somewhere to direct the Lalo off of this no-fly zone. So I want them to end on this. So let's actually add a comp back here, and we're just gonna put the sweeper right here. And so I like to direct the Lalo off of it. That's also semi-common. And then what I like to do is I like to place an air defense like kind of close to it, but I like to abuse the hound popping range. So if you look at this circle, this is like where the hound pup would reach. So like here maybe, it's not exact, but it's not, I know it's like not the full radius. So where these walls are is like kind of where the hound would pop, which is really nice to know because then I can put an air trap like here, and it's still kind of in the range of the air defense, or actually I think I can put it in the range of the air defense and it won't get popped. So that hound popping thing was probably a little bit too large, but it's fine. So I like doing a sweeper, and then kind of the similar thing with isolation, except I like to only isolate one side, whereas typically I find that people like to isolate all the sides except for maybe like one. But I typically like to isolate one side, and that's where the Lalo is coming from. So like this side right here, this is the side that I'm isolating. This side is going to have full padding into the upper half. So it's similar. I'm going to put my wizard towers, going to have a couple archer towers, things like that. So it's similar in that nature, but the concept, it'll be different. Okay. So it's pretty similar right now. But now here's where I would like, or like, here's how I throw it off. So I put like an air defense over here, okay, and then we're gonna say town hall would be over here as well. So town hall is over here, and then there's an air defense over here, let's say, and an air defense over here. So this one's fairly close to the no-fly zone, and then a core air defense. So this probably isn't the best diagram of how the air defenses are, but something like this. So we have two air defenses fairly close by each other. By the way, the sweeper is zapping. We'll just move it. There we go. Okay. So we have two air defenses pretty close by each other, but they're also pretty close by the no-fly zone. Whereas in the typical no-fly zone, you have your air defenses on one side, no-fly zone splash stuff on the other side. Now, here is how I deal with that. So let's say we have a double inferno comp over here, okay? So double inferno comp, blah blah blah. Don't worry that it's zappable. This is just an example. And then the eagle is somewhere down here. So what I would do is I would put like my queen, my CC over here to bait the queen charge for this double multi, and then a king city for this for the town hall. And then I would want the Lalo to start either from this air defense, or actually this air defense would probably have to be moved over here. And then I would probably want the Lalo to start from this air defense and then go to the core air defense, and then finally this air defense. So then what I would do is I would pop the first town with 2 Sams. Now notice, that does not affect this wizard tower at all. And that's really nice. And then I would put 2 Sams on this air defense. And then with the pathing that I created, established, that makes it seem like, oh, there's no pathing to this Inferno at all, what I would do, something that I do with dead cores too, is put some Teslas in here. And what these Teslas are doing is they're pulling everything inside, and then you do a Lalo nuke. And this messes up everything. Now I would save like 2 red air bombs, just in case if the nuke doesn't work, but typically it will work. So this is pulling everything inside, and hopefully they would have it early warded because of the eagle strikes. If not, it's fine. But that would pull everything inside, and that would totally ruin the Lalo, and then they might only have like a backup thing to help support, so then you just kill that off with the 2 red air bombs. So that's how I like to do a no-fly zone. I would also mess around with things like dead space if you're doing a no-fly zone. For example, something like this comp could be good, because dead space is really just manipulating pathing. Once you can get the, like, I guess that would be like the concept of dead space is manipulating pathing. Say this were a defense, and I had defense ring like here, like so. I would know that if a loon were dropped right here, this loon would go from this cannon to this cannon to this cannon to this cannon to this cannon, and keep going on with its day, totally ignoring this cannon. Now, if the cannon were like here, and there was an archer tower right here, now there is still some dead space between these two, but the loon would go here, 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 here. At least some of the loons would go there. Loons do tend to pack down, but some do pack up, depending on how they hit this building. Say if they hit it more on like this side, then they're gonna pack up. If they hit it more on this half, they're gonna pack down. So really controlling dead space, and you don't even have to do dead zones like this if you don't want to. That makes your base a lot more compact, but just controlling dead space, doing comps like this that are like oversized, but they're still really good. Because now look what I've done. I've created a 1-tile dead zone between whatever this building is and this building. And obviously a queen can still reach it, but the importance is a defensive targeting troop will not target it as long as you have them pathing. But then you can mess it up with like a Tesla, something to pull it in, and then you just nuke it, and yeah, then the base is done, and yeah. So that's the real main thing of the no-fly zone, is controlling dead space and understanding when to control dead space and when not to control dead space, because if you have too much dead space in a base, you're gonna have trouble defending like queen charge and probably dragons too, because dragons rely on a very light and fluffy type of base. I will be doing a second no-fly zone video that I'm going to be live building. I'll probably start off with a skeleton just to make the video shorter, because I know everybody likes shorter videos. Don't even lie to me and say that you like watching a whole ass movie about base building. and it's quicker for me, quicker for you guys. So it's just all around better, and you'll soak up more information too. So I will do a part 2 probably in the next video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.